guys, my name is Nina. Welcome to my channel, Inside the Mind of a Human Predator. In this video, I'd like to discuss how to spot a dysfunctional, maladaptive, toxic person that has entered your life, a new person. As always, we are not trying or looking to diagnose this individual because we cannot in a lay situation and or not being mental health professionals. And I always emphasize that it does not matter whether the individual in question meets the criteria for a certain mental health condition or a certain personality disorder. All we need to see is whether this person exhibits certain signs of maladaptive behavior over long-term patterns as opposed to one-offs, and ultimately we need to make the decision for ourselves as to whether keep this new individual in our life. Now, because it's a new person, the red flags, or if you'd rather use the term yellow flags, are going to be scaled down. They're going to be less obvious, they're going to be smaller, and that's one of the key reasons why many people ignore them right off the bat, because they don't really know what to watch out for. They're thinking of bigger instances, something more obvious. However, at the same time, these yellow flags, if you will, are not dissimilar from the types of things you would see in a developed relationship with a toxic person. So this may be a new romantic interest, this may be the first few dates, this may be a new colleague, a new business client, a new friend. It doesn't really matter. We are looking at categories. So what are the categories that we're looking for? Well, I must also note that the categories are fluid, so there is an overlap between them. So what we're going to look for are signs of competition, disproportionate competitiveness with you. We're going to look for signs of really slight devaluations of you. We're going to look at triangulation in the context of that devaluation. We're going to look at disproportionate and asymmetric sharing of information. So the person is giving you less than what you're giving this new person in question. And we're also going to look at signs of instability in their life, in their personal life, personal, interpersonal relationships, work life, education, academic life, etc. So first, let's think about the way that really inappropriate or disproportionate competitiveness, competition with you, may take in the context of this new relationship. So for instance, you are getting to know this individual and you might mention the college, the university that you had graduated from. And your conversation partner is going to one-up you and mention the Ivy League school that he or she had gone to. You might mention something about your professional achievements. Maybe you made Employee of the Month. Maybe you were promoted from executive director to managing director. It doesn't matter what it is, but your conversation partner is also going to one-up you. He or she will say that it took a lot less time to get that promotion for him or her. He or she may say, well, I've made Employee of the Month every month because I'm so great. Now, of course, this is taking part as in the context of a greater conversation. So it's not going to be so obvious the way that I'm presenting it to you with these little clips, examples, and so forth, but it's definitely something to watch out for. So it could be your professional achievements, it could be something pertaining to your talents, music, art, something pertaining to sports that you're interested in. It doesn't really matter, but you're looking for signs of this person always trying to one-up you, and as he or she does this, you are brought down. You are devalued a little bit. And so now your value is not your intrinsic value as a professional, as a creative person, as a friend, as a sibling, as a parent, etc., etc. It's now related to what this conversation partner thinks of you, and your value has been brought down. Now, devaluation is the second category, and it's related. So you have been slightly devalued in the context of this conversation or conversations professionally, personally. It may even be presented as a joke. This person might end these statements with, ha ha ha, just kidding. And because this is a new person, and because it's presented as a joke, you feel that it's inappropriate for you to say anything about this issue, but you feel kind of uneasy as to why you've been sort of criticized mildly in the context of a new relationship that's developing, why you've been devalued in a small way. So what other forms can devaluation take? Well, devaluation can also occur in the context of being triangulated with another person. So let's say this is a romantic scenario, and at some point you're going to talk about your previous relationship history. And this, let's say it's a man, is talking about his ex-partner, ex-girlfriend, and he seems to you actually pretty emotionally mature. He's not trashing her. He says, he kind of evaluates the relationship of what he had done wrong and why it failed and what she had done wrong. He emphasizes the fact that he never wants to be with this person again because they're just different people. Again, sounds very reasonable, sounds very mature. And then he mentions this one thing, and it doesn't matter what the thing is, that is absolutely amazing about his ex-partner. She had beautiful, flowing, long, jet black hair. It was amazing. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, he says. And you look nothing like that. You have short blonde hair. You have medium length, curly brown hair. It doesn't matter. You don't look like this person at all. And he just goes on and on and on about how beautiful and amazing her hair was. So obviously, this is a new relationship. You don't want to seem disproportionately jealous, but you start having questions in your mind. Like, if this ex was this person's type, why is he going after me when I look nothing like this? Is this a rebound? Am I considered lower than this person that I've never met? And I don't even know if this is true. But also, you want to be the cool chick, the cool guy. You don't even want to bring this up because, you know, we all have previous relationships, but this doesn't sit well with you. You're thinking about being compared to this person. And it doesn't even have to be someone in this man's or this woman's social circle. You might go to the movies and he or she notices the actor or actress on the screen, and similar situation goes on and on about how this beautiful or handsome person on the screen is exactly their type. Haven't seen anyone better looking, the most amazing, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing person to look at in the world. And once again, you look nothing like this celebrity. Not that you should look like a celebrity, but the woman on the screen is curvy and you're slender. The woman on the screen is slender and you're curvy. The man on the screen is a bodybuilder and you're slender, and vice versa. It doesn't matter what it is. And your date just wouldn't shut up about how amazing this person is. So once again, you're the cool chick, you're the cool guy. How could you possibly question this? This is a new relationship. You don't want to seem jealous, but you have questions as to why is he or she interested in me when I clearly am not his or her type. Once again, you've been triangulated and devalued, and you are being primed for seeking this person's approval by possibly changing the way you look. And it even doesn't have to be something that pertains to your appearance. Your date might talk about the way that his ex-girlfriend was an amazing cook. And you're okay, but you're not amazing. And so, again, you're competing with this person that is no longer in his life, and he claims to not want this person in his life, but that bar had been set at a certain level, and clearly you've been informed in a very jokey way, in a minute way, that you don't meet the criteria. So in your mind, you have these seeds of doubt as to, why is this person even bothering with me? And you start feeling like you're not good enough for this person. So once again, your value is not intrinsic. Your value is now related to what this person thinks of you, and this person has slightly devalued you through competing with you or through triangulating you with someone who may not even be in their social circle. It's done deliberately. Now, the next thing to watch out for is instability in your conversation partner's life. Now, There are legitimate reasons as to why people switch jobs. They find a better paying job. Why people move. They move into a nicer building, a nicer house, a nicer city, better opportunities. They might have to move back home because their parent or family member is sick and they have to help them out. Obviously, all these reasons may be absolutely legitimate, but we should still watch out for signs of instability in this person's life. Someone who moved around a lot, switched colleges, universities, didn't manage to keep a job for more than a few months, had gone through multiple girlfriends, boyfriends, or friends, and the changes were pretty rapid. So this person may present you with legitimate reasons as to why these changes had occurred, but it's definitely something that is one of the bigger yellow flags to watch out for, having that kind of personal instability, not having a stable group of friends, because in the age of technology, we are still perfectly capable of keeping in touch with our friends from our past life when we moved across the continent, when we moved to a different country, when we moved to a different city. It doesn't have to be constant everyday contact because we're all busy, but there has to be some connection to your past life. So when you see a sign that this person doesn't have a past life or burns bridges way too fast in multiple ways, not as a one-off where there may have been a terrible job with a terrible boss, there may have been a terrible interpersonal relationship, and it may be legitimate, but you're once again looking for a pattern of instability on multiple fronts: personal relationships, work, education, creative pursuits, etc. So that's a very important thing to watch out for. The next thing to look for is whether this person is being somewhat mysterious and the information sharing is asymmetric. So he or she, as you are getting to know each other, is being somewhat vague, not really answering questions, and not about anything that's personal and shouldn't be shared in the first few meetings, the first few dates or whatever, but something that is fairly average and normal, and you are sharing that information with this individual, but this individual isn't, and is indeed asking you lots and lots of questions about you. So you're answering these questions, you're sharing this personal information, but he or she isn't. Now, you might actually feel kind of flattered and complimented because it seems like he or she is really interested in you. Wow. He's asking me so many questions. He's interested in my creative pursuits. He is interested in what my friends like. He may even join my group of friends. Wow, she really, really wants to know about the sports that I'm into, etc. But that may be the case if it's not related to any other yellow flags that we've been talking about here. Or it may be that this person is getting lots and lots of personal information about you because this type of information can be used as pressure points against you later on. This is a sign of vulnerability, sharing personal information. Again, it doesn't have to be something that is super personal, but nonetheless. The next thing to watch out for is one of those famous statements that we often hear. People tell you exactly who they are, you just have to listen. We're often told to look as to whether actions match someone's words, and that is a very important thing to pay attention to, obviously. But sometimes people actually would tell you that they're dysfunctional, but it's done in the context of a larger conversation, it's done as a joke, it's done almost as this romantic fishing expedition, and we don't necessarily take it seriously, but sometimes we should. So this person may say, let's say it's in the context of a budding romantic relationship, it's the first or the second date, he or she may say that I'm a damaged man, I'm a damaged woman, but I feel that you get me. You are the person who can actually heal me and make me better and make me whole. Now, it sounds like a huge compliment. In fact, it's part of love bombing. It's really disproportionate to the level and the intensity of your relationship with someone that you've just met. You've been placed on this really large pedestal, Imagine how far down you're going to fall if this person really is maladaptive when you don't meet this person's criteria in their mind that you might not even be aware of. This person may say that he or she is so jaded, has gone through multiple failed relationships, but you seem to be like the one who gets them. You seem to be their type physically. You seem to really understand them emotionally. You seem to share interests. And again, it's presented in this romantic way, but they tell you that they're jaded, that they're damaged, that they're broken, that their heart is broken, etc., etc. So it sounds like something you may even hear in the movies, and this is something that would be romanticized in a whatever romantic comedy, but it's definitely not a good sign in conjunction with the other things that we have heard. So if this person idealizes you to this massive extent as the one who could save them, as the one who could heal them, that it's something that you should watch out for. And sometimes this may take either a misogynistic or a misandrous direction where I really can't handle other women, but you are amazing. I really cannot stand other men, but you are an amazing man. Like you the one. So the pressure that has been placed on you is immense, in addition to all the other factors that I mentioned. So to wrap this up, we are looking for multiple red or yellow, if you'd like, flags. We may encounter this person more than once and sort of take mental notes as to how they operate. I think some of them have greater value. I would say competitiveness and devaluation, along with instability, to me, would be the most important signs to watch out for. But of course, there is such a thing as giving someone the benefit of the doubt. Should we do it? Well, obviously, it's case specific. But if I had to give someone the benefit of the doubt, I would just follow the 3-strike rule. So the first offense, whatever it is, would be, you give them the benefit of the doubt. The second one would be a coincidence, although I do not believe in coincidences. And the third one would be the 3rd strike, at which point you should probably cut all contact with this person. I hope you found this video interesting. I would love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments, especially about the things that I've missed. It's impossible to cover everything, or perhaps your own personal experiences with someone that was new, that you've met. You had a hunch that they're maladaptive, you've maintained the relationship, and you proved yourself to be right. But at what cost? Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I totally appreciate it.